join me in the pledge? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a proclamation today. Yes, Mr. Painter, if you would read that for us.
Gladly. Elder Abuse Awareness Day in Clermont County. Who will be accepting this proclamation this morning?
Some members that will come up also.
Well, by all means, come on up.
Okay.
Come on up. Glad you're here today.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Elder Abuse Awareness Day in Clermont County, June 15, 2018. Whereas Clermont County's more than 30,000 older adults will increase in number by 120% between 2010 and 2020 and deserve to live safely with dignity, and whereas with the increase of elder population, abuse to adults aged 60 and older has become more prevalent in communities. And whereas elder adults of all socioeconomic, racial, and ethnic backgrounds may be targets of abuse, neglect, or exploitation, which occurs in families, long-term care facilities, communities, and whereas in 2017 there were 286 reported allegations of abuse, neglect, or exploitation of elder adults in Clermont County. And whereas protecting Clermont County's elder adults is a community responsibility, and it is imperative that communities work together to help reduce and prevent abuse, neglect, and exploitation. And whereas Clermont County Senior Services serves as an advocate for the elderly and encourages all citizens to watch for signs of abuse, neglect, or exploitation of elder adults and report it to the Department of Job and Family Services. Now therefore let it be proclaimed that we, the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim June 15th, 2018 as Elder Abuse Awareness Day in Clermont County. And it's signed by Edwin H. Humphrey, President, David L. Painter, Vice President, and David H. Hubel, Member. On behalf of the Board, Cindy,
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
accepting this.
Thank you very
You
much.
bet. Thank you.
Thank
You'd like
you.
to say a few words?
Sure. Thank you.
bet.
I want to welcome the investigative team, first of all, for Adult Protective Services, staff of Clermont Senior Services. And we have Dave Hubel, who is second to the last person here to my right. And he is really our chief investigator, and Debbie Hines, as well as Marla Catron. Thank you for all the work that they do. And the other members here today are members of a group that I'm going to just quickly reference here. I do want to say that Adult Protective Services is a mandated service, and it is mandated by law in the state of Ohio. Clermont Senior Services has the exclusive contract with the Department of Job and Family Services to perform the investigations of all referrals that are made for adult elder abuse situations. Elder abuse is in fact defined under Ohio law as abuse, neglect, or exploitation. And that exploitation can be financial, it can be sexual, it can be any type of exploitation. The number of cases that were reported last year, 286, I have to tell you that that has escalated tremendously over the years. And in fact, in 1999, the number of cases reported was 103. In 2008, it was 124. And I will tell you, sadly, we are on track, considering that through the first 5 months of the year, we have already had 176 referrals from January through May. And at this rate, and considering just the continual growth of population, and that there's an expansion of mandatory reporters to include banks and financial institutions that will take place September 20th of this year, we're expecting probably upwards of 400 referrals. And that's just unbelievable that this horrific crime is being done in our community. Seniors are the fastest growing population, and in Clermont County, we range between the 3rd and 5th fastest growing population of older adults in the state of Ohio. 1 out of 10 Americans age 60 and over has experienced abuse, and only 1 in 4 cases are reported annually. There is a very strong group of people, though, who have come together, and they're working very, very hard to team their efforts and act as a resource to find the very best ways of helping those who are most vulnerable and volatile in our senior population. And this is the CAPS group, and they're a collaboration of community agencies, and they're partnering with Clermont Senior Services Adult Protective Services to collectively address the gaps in the service delivery system to elders who are in fact abused, neglected, and exploited. Their mission statement is to prevent, recognize, and end abuse, neglect, and exploitation of older adults through community partnership, education, and advocacy. And I know Ernie Ramus is part of that group with the prosecuting attorney's office, and Ernie goes out and does really, I believe, all of the presentations to community and civic organizations so that people are more familiar, they are more aware. That's what Elder Abuse Awareness Day is all about. It's about being aware of this. Know that, there are a lot of partners in this, the Developmental Disabilities Board, as well as law enforcement, and the sheriff's office, along with local law enforcement. And we also have a number of banks involved, because they're a lot of times the frontline folks who see especially the frontline kinds of financial exploitation. I would like to mention that if you see a situation that you think could be a case of elder abuse, you're not making a judgment. You're not saying, okay, this is what's going on. You've made an observation that raises that red flag. And what we ask is that you do call us to report that, because there's no other way that we can really look into it and find out what's going on. And there's a number that we'd like you to call, and it's 536-4085. Again, that's 536-4085. When you report your observations, I will tell you that your identity is kept confidential. The law in the state protects you in that respect, and we will protect your identity as well. Know that you're simply reporting an observation. We genuinely appreciate the community taking a moment to be aware of this as much as we're aware of this, and be willing, in fact, to keep your eyes open. Be the eyes and the ears of older adults in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Picture? Picture?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Let's file up. Good to see you, Ernie.
That's good.
Good, sir. We'll have two rows.
All right.
Squeeze it.
Shoulder to shoulder, guys.
There, that's perfect. Okay, thank you. Again, sorry. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's all right. I just got the signal.
Well, I will, yeah. You know, the addiction problem. That increase, that's right from there.
We have minutes to approve of May 30th. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second the motion.
Mr. Painter,
Yes.
Mr. Ubel,
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey,
Aye. We have a consent agenda that was prepared and sent to us on Friday. If there are no items that need to be pulled from that consent agenda for further discussion and deliberation, then I would approve or accept a motion to approve the consent agenda as a whole.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda as shown.
Second.
Mr. Ubel,
Yes.
Mr. Painter,
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey,
Aye. That takes us over to page 6, item 11. And it's a resolution to approve our bills, Resolution 69-18 in the amount of $626,123.03. Do we have a motion to approve item 11?
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Painter,
Yes.
Mr. Ubel,
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey,
Aye. And item 12. Saw Pam last night.
I'm sorry?
We saw Pam last night.
I've talked to her a few times. She sounds like she's doing
Yeah.
really well.
She was at the chamber event.
Oh, yes, yes. she was
Actually,
nominated.
yesterday at noon,
Right.
yes.
I'm Laura Schluter with the Clermont County Emergency Management Agency. Item number 12, recommendation of Pam Haverkos, Director of the Clermont County Emergency Management Agency, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to nominate the following individual for appointment to serve on the Clermont County Local Emergency Planning Committee, representing the discipline identified as environmental, as approved by the Clermont County Local Emergency Planning Committee on 4/26/18, effective 4/26/18 through 8/14/19, pursuant to and in compliance with Section 3750-03B of the Ohio Revised Code.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the nomination?
I'll make a motion for item 12.
Second.
Mr. Ubel,
Yes.
Mr. Painter,
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey,
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 13. Ms. Evans.
Good morning, Adele Evans, Assistant Director, Community and Economic Development. Item number 13 is a recommendation of Andy Kukta, Director of our department, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eggle, County Administrator, to adopt resolution number 70-18, which is resolving to approve the execution of an Ohio Enterprise Zone agreement by and between the Board of Trustees of Batavia Township, the Board of County Commissioners, Engineered Mobile Solutions Incorporated, which is an Ohio corporation with its main offices currently located at 4350 Batavia Road in Batavia, Ohio 45103, and Entertainment Mobile Solutions, Inc., also an Ohio corporation at the same address, for the granting of a 60% tax exemption for 10 years on real property improvements made as part of the project. As identified in the referenced agreement, said exemptions commencing no later than December 31st, 2022, and not extending beyond December 31st, 2032, pursuant to Section 5709.61 through 5709.69, inclusive of the Ohio Revised Code, and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, in consideration of the investment to be made by Engineered Mobile Solutions and Entertainment Mobile Solutions for the expansion and retention of economic development, as well as the preservation and creation of employment opportunities within the designated boundaries of the Rural Jobs and Enterprise Zone in Clermont County, and to direct the clerk of the board to forward the agreement between the Batavia Township trustees, county commissioners, Engineered Mobile Solutions, Entertainment Mobile Solutions, to the Ohio Development Services Agency, the Ohio Department of Taxation, and the Clermont County Auditor. So this project is a brand new building at the corner of Taylor Road and Clough Pike in Batavia Township. It's for 80,000 square feet, nearly $4.4 million in investment. The company is committed to retain 51 employees and create an additional 15. And Batavia Township trustees approved the agreement on May 14th, and Rex Parsons, Batavia Township Administrator, is here today to show his support. Bryce Johnson, the company president was unable to join us today.
Okay. We have a motion to adopt Resolution 70-18 as contained in item 13.
I'll make the motion for item 13.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Thank you.
Actually,
Thank you.
thought Rex was here to promote the Rookie Success League.
Well, that's coming up. I've got my shirt on underneath there.
What a plug. What a plug, yeah.
As a matter of fact, I got my knee socks, I got a full plate. But, yeah, don't forget sponsor. Friday, if you're available, come out for lunch. Love to have you.
You do, because there's,
Very good. Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
they didn't make it for 3. Sometimes they only make it for 1, so we're good.
Item 14.
Item 14 is a recommendation to execute record plat number 6293054 for the replat of a lot in the Enterprise Circle subdivision located in Miami Township.
Okay, do we have a motion to execute record plat 629-3054 as contained in item 14?
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye. And item 15, Suki?
Good morning. Item 15 is a recommendation to execute a lease agreement between the board and the Clermont County Educational Service Center. This is for 9,798 square feet of office space that they occupy in our Family Support Center. We have been leasing to the Educational Service Center for many years. The prior lease agreement had expired at the end of June of this year. They are happy with their space. Wade likes them as a tenant, and they asked to continue the lease, and we offered the additional lease. So what this will be is a term of 3 years. Well, it's really a 1-year term with 3 one-year renewals, which is what we've been executing in the past. The first year's rate will be $122,377.02. And then what we have done with this lease agreement is the rate for the subsequent renewals are reflective of the CPI index.
Okay. So do we have a motion to execute the lease agreement as contained in item 15?
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Humphrey?
Aye. Item 16.
16 are a few supplemental appropriations, and really they're kind of transfers. What we did was we had reassigned an employee when we did a change in the water resources table of organization from the sewer area over to the combined area so that she works on both water and sewer efforts. So we are reducing the sewer administration regular salaries by $23,574.60. And the associated benefits in the sewer administration for $7,569.12. Then we're going to increase the regular salaries in water resources admin combined for $28,000. We're going to increase the fringes for $9,100. And then we're going to reduce the fringes in customer service as a result of some plan changes that were selected this year by $9,300.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the supplemental appropriations as contained in our last item?
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye. And that concludes our regular agenda. Do you have any add-ons?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we have a need for executive session pursuant to 121.22 G1, G2, and G3 of the High Revised Code to consider employment, discipline, or compensation of a public employee. Number 2, to consider the sale of property. And number 3, to confer with the prosecuting attorney regarding pending or imminent litigation, respectively. Do we have a motion to go into executive session under those sections?
I'll make the motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye. We'll be back. We're back from executive session. No decisions were made. Are there any add-ons as a result of
We do have a personnel action add-on in the Water Resources Department. James Smith Water Resources Department Maintenance Specialist, administrative leave, non-disciplinary with pay, effective June 4th, 2018.
Do we have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye. Anything else?
Public participation and then staff discussion.
Okay, we have a time now for public participation. Anyone wish to address the board? 5 minutes? If not, then staff discussion. I think we're going to table that for a future date, if that's okay.
Motion to table that?
Yep. Do we have a motion to table that? Do we need a motion to table that? Okay.
I'll make a motion to table the staff discussion, item F.
Is there a second?
I will second that. That staff discussion was for Clermont County facilities, specifically the corporate buildings, correct?
Correct. And we will have a discussion at a later date.
Okay.
Mr. Yubel?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Commissioner Humphrey, if I could, Wade is here, and I'd like, if the board would consider it, to have him give us an update on the Common Police Court and domestic.
Yes,
Or-
thank you. We had a,
I won't come to the podium that far.
we had a water main break, I understand.
Not quite a water main break.
Well, a sprinkler system break.
Yeah, as you know, I'll start off with domestic juvenile court, domestic clerk. Last Thursday, we had a pretty good storm come through, in excess of 55, 60 mile an hour winds. We lost power here on all campuses, and they didn't get back up. Some of them, Family Support Center didn't come back up until like after midnight. But we were all ready to go for the next day. There was no loss of time or anything, but we did take a major hit at domestic juvenile court. Our fire alarm system took a hit, and
That comes through the mic probably, if you
sorry, don't want to do that.
touch on
We were not able to get a panel in. It's a specialized 9400 radionics panel, GBA, which is a specialized for us. It's a custom panel. We did get one out of New York late Monday. And I'm glad to report that that building, because of our staff's effort, is back up and running, fully functional. And with that, on Monday evening, as you know, we...
Wade,
Yes.
on that,
Yes.
what damaged the panel? You think lightning strike damaged it?
It's hard to say whether it was storm related, but whether it was the lightning or not. We have suppressors on all of our buildings, of course. As you know, Commissioner, in your background, lightning and electric goes to the path of least resistance, and if it finds a weak link, and that's it. So
Yep.
to expand on that, and I'm glad you asked, is I have one of our electrical contractors actually checking our suppression systems as far as electrical and our grounding rods. There could be a case where maybe there's a water line that's allowing it to feed through our panel or something like that. So I've requested that to be done, and actually that's scheduled for next week. Monday evening, our dry sprinkler system, which is designed for attics, because you don't want water in the attic in the wintertime.
It's dry until it becomes wet. Yes,
Exactly.
It's got pressure, air pressure.
And as you know, Commissioner Humphrey, they're thin wall, usually schedule 30 or 40 with Victolic fittings. Anyway, we had one burst. We figure anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 gallons of water came crashing down from the attic over Judge Ferentz's chambers, his administrative person, his jury room, the rear hallway. So Monday night was another long night while we're still on fire watch at domestic and juvenile courts. But we were able and managed to get Assistant Chief Short out, and he gave us a conditional non-fire watch because I couldn't have people in both places really. We were able to get the alarm system up by, I think, about 8:30, 8:45, with a conditional, which means the dry system was off. I had Silco Fire Protection out that evening. They assessed it. They made the product. They came back on Tuesday morning early, and the system, the dry system was up and ready. Not engaged because my policy is I want to test that system for leaks for about 8 hours. So about 6 o'clock last night, we put the system back on, and it held, so we're okay. As far as damage goes, the cleanup with ServPro and our folks, there will be no carpet replacement. I did lose a leather couch that was in Judge's chambers that we I couldn't let him stay. I couldn't clean leather. I couldn't extract leather, so he lost that. There may be some minor furniture issues later on. We had about 3 inches of water on that precast concrete. Now, you'll appreciate this.
What was the failure of the actual fitting that failed? Is that something that's conducive throughout the rest of the system?
Well, I have it being, as we call ultrasounded, meaning they're testing the metal. On this particular brake, Commissioner, it was 2 3-foot sections with the Victolic fitting in the middle, and it was bowed. The riser had actually had enough weight on it to where it pulled the instrut out, and it had about an inch and a quarter gap. So when they test the system, Commissioner, you know, they run the water through it, okay, and let it bleed back out. Well, you can have water still in the system, and I think over the years, you know, it's a 20-year building. Over the years, it just, it failed.
The bow that you saw on the piece of pipe where the hanger had come disengaged?
Yeah.
Did the hanger come disengaged out of the concrete above? Is that what?
Out of the wooden trusses above. They were hanging on the wooden trusses.
Mhm.
And it could have been that it wasn't in good enough over the years. It could have been that it snapped. I don't know. But because of that bow, water had laid in there, even though the design is to empty the system so it's dry again. They did the ultrasound partial yesterday. The system is back up and running. They're returning on Friday with 3 technicians. It may seem like overkill, but I'm going to have them hand walk and hand crawl that system to point out any areas that might be subject to possible breaks. We had to do it in this building, I think you might remember, about 9 to 10 years ago, but it was a much smaller pipe. I mean, we were dealing with 1.5 inches in this building, they were dealing with 6 up there. I had, they really responded well. They didn't understand why I wasn't jumping back in and cleaning everything up, and I explained to them I have a 600 amp service here. I don't want electrically, I need to shut everything down and start bringing it up slowly so I don't electrocute my people. They were fine though, and Judge Ferentz was absolutely incredible. He understood everything. He's working out of his courtroom instead of his chambers, but we're putting everything back. We disinfected it, used an antimicrobial yesterday with the ServPro people, and our folks now are putting the ceiling tile back in. We will wait about a week or so until I'm really comfortable that the dry system piping is good, and then we'll repair the firewall where it came down from the attic. So overall, it's been a busy few days, but everything's back up in order now. Trying to think if there's anything else. Those two.
Just you got a backup fire panel too, right? You ordered a backup.
I have an extra backup. So because they're custom to Clermont County, not only did we get the one in Monday, I ordered a second one which came in yesterday. I want to have one on hand in case
That's
it
fair.
happens again.
Just credit you and
$300-400 part, but you need it. You have to have it.
just credit you and your staff. I know your guys worked a lot of hours to
Staff put in
stay
a lot
and
of hours, but they never complain.
yeah.
They never complain. I mean, without them, I would be nowhere, including the trustee program. I mean, I got special permission. Trustees are not allowed in the common pleas court, and Judge Ferentz gave me special permission to allow them to go in and pre-clean up before ServPro got there with their blowers and things. And I mean, they did it yesterday. They did an incredible job. So yeah, the staff is awesome. They really are. I mean, just being on fire watch yourself. It's 12-hour shifts, knowing on a Thursday night that you're not going home all weekend long. You're going home for 12, sleeping 9 or 8, and coming right back in here. I had made a call, as Mr. Eigel knows, to Road Patrol to give us a break on Sunday because I wanted to cover church and family things. And Road Patrol kicked right in, and they were there every hour on the hour. I had juvenile detention watching it with their cameras, circling the building, and then Road Patrol actually going inside and physically inspected. So it gave us like a 12-hour window where we could just kind of handle things that we needed to handle. So it worked out real well. Everybody was just cooperative, which is usually always the case with things that we deal with. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Yes, sir.
If not, that concludes our business for today. I accept the motion for adjournment.
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Newell?
Yes.
Aye. That concludes our business for today. Thanks for joining us, and God bless.